we're getting ready to have a couple more of our does go into labor. So what we'd like to do is get our materials together so that it's easy for us when they start to have contractions and get closer to having their babies. So one thing that you definitely might include in that is having some kind of gloves. And that way, especially if you're going to be having to insert your hand in and to assist with getting the baby in the proper location, then you want to definitely have gloves before you have to insert your hand into the vagina. Now, the other thing is, if you do have to, you really would think about giving that particular goat a shot of an antibiotic, just in case, as a preventative, to make sure that they're not going to have any reaction to any bacteria, etc. Now, one thing that we like to do is have plenty of old towels available. We like to be right in there with them, and that way if there's any type of complication, we're there to assist if necessary. And so we like to have the towels down as well to help get them dried off, especially because a lot of our babies come in late winter, early spring when it's still really cold outside, and we're wanting them to get dry as quickly as possible. So definitely old towels, a must. One thing that we've done over the past couple years is started using puppy pads to slide up under the hips of the doe right as she's having the baby, so that baby can come out on that clean surface for the most part. And so we're easily can just pull them around too to the front end, so she's able to start to lick them off while the next baby is getting ready to be born. So that has been a huge asset for us with our babies. Also, if you did have to go in vaginally, another thing you would like to have is an all-purpose OB gel or something like that, a lubricant that it makes it easier on the mom as you start to move with your finger or your hand inside to assist her. Another thing that we like to have on hand is after the baby comes out is to help with the breathing and getting the mucus out of the airways and such, as we'll use our aspirator, our bulb, and suck the snot out in the throat, but also in the nose, to assist in that so they can breathe more easily. We like to include is dental floss. Just any kind of dental floss will work fine, and what we use that for is tying off the umbilicus to assist and make sure that the goat is not losing blood through the umbilicus. It can be deadly because baby goats don't have a lot of blood, so any loss is significant. After that, then we also like to have a spray iodine, and we'll spray that on the umbilicus as well to help prevent infection, etc. You know, baby wipes are good for everything, and when you're trying to clean your hands up in that in that situation, we just like to have them available for us. Another thing that you might include in your birthing kit is we have a rubber cord, and what we might use that for is if positioning is wrong, the mother is having difficulty, we'll be able to reach in, and this slides back and forth where it can go around the hoof and then tighten up on either side and make it easier for you to help deliver the baby with the mom's contraction. You may have seen on shows like Dr. Pole, they use chains when they're delivering calves and use those on the hoofs. Well, we don't use chains with our goats. We use this because it's a little bit less abrasive for the mom. Another thing we like to include is the Nutri-Drench. After the mom has had labor and birth, how many babies she's going to have, we like to give her a little boost with some Nutri-Drench that is loaded with vitamins and very appealing. It has a molasses base, and they absolutely love it. And also, after the babies have gotten colostrum, been on and nursed, and are getting ready to go to sleep, we'll give them a tiny bit of the Nutri-Drench as well, so they're able to get a good start after being born. Another thing we might include is a calcium paste, And sometimes the mother uses so much effort with the calcium, with all the milk in their udder and with all actually birthing the babies, that they'll get a little low with calcium. And if that is the case, then what we like to do is give them just a little line of the paste, so that can help with rejuvenating that calcium level. One thing for sure, this is primarily what we have in our kit, but you can customize your own to whatever your needs are in your situation. One thing we also like to look at when our does are getting close to birthing time is feeling their ligaments. And in the next video, we'll give you a demonstration of what that looks like, so that you might be able to see that. And when we know that the ligaments are all the way spread, then typically that baby's coming in the next 24 hours. One aside, if you don't already know this, gestation for goats is 5 months. And so basically 150 days. And that's how you can gauge when their due date's going to be. There are tons of online calculators, etc., to plug in when they were bred, and it will give you whenever they're due. That's all for today. I hope this was beneficial to you. And remember, if you like it, to hit like, either share or subscribe. Thank you. Hi all, this is Fawn Doe, and she is quite pregnant. She's due in about 10 days or so. And one thing that we like to do when we're checking to see how close they're getting with having their babies is what's called checking the ligaments. And what you'll do is just take your thumb and your first finger, and you're going to run it down her spine, and you should be able to feel 2 ligaments that come up on each side. Now, as she gets closer, what's going to happen is those ligaments are going to spread apart. And when you get to where you cannot feel them at all, well, you're going to be within the 24-hour window of your doe having their babies.